The first thing I'd like to highlight about Ina is her intelligence. Whenever she does anything on stream that requires memory or problem solving, she absolutely crushes it. I recommend that you watch her play Big Brain Academy because it's fascinating to see her solve the challenges. IQ can only be measured by officially administered tests, so I won't attempt to estimate it, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's Mensa level. I've known a lot of intelligent people in my life, and one thing they all share is tenacity when faced with difficult problems. Ina also exhibits this trait. Most mental tests are a breeze for them, but when they do encounter a challenge, they stay calm and keep on trying until they get it. Personally, I tend to get frustrated, so I admire people like Ina who can approach problems with optimism even when she doesn't figure them out immediately. There was only a single challenge on Big Brain Academy that she didn't achieve a high score on by her second try, and that was the clock challenge. In my opinion, that is the game's most difficult task.
Okay, we try again. We keep going. Keep going until we get the time right. Spring for a tutorial. We did it! We did it! We did it! Elite! Oh, I just had to go very steady. Yeah, I just had to stop and think. One gold globe, yeah.
It also shows you that Ina is humble and doesn't mind failing a challenge in front of thousands of people. That means a lot when you consider that her fanbase already knows she's smart and anticipates her performing well. She was much more focused on the game itself and trying to beat her previous score. No matter how intelligent you are, learning to approach problems with patience and optimism like Ina would allow you to reach your potential a lot faster. Next, I'd like to talk about Ina's Let's Plays. It's always easy to keep up with what's going on in the game. Why is that? It's because Ina plays all the characters in the game instead of just focusing on the main character. She reads their lines and tries to convey their emotions through her reading. She uses different voices for each character. She also reads descriptions in the game and explains what is happening as she goes along.
Rescue them and they would have no choice but to join your new cult. Oh, mighty bishops of the old faith, we ask you to accept the sacrifice of this wretched soul. Hey, who interrupts our ritual and trespasses on sacred ground? Me!
At the same time, Ina expresses her train of thought as she continues playing. She'll narrate her actions and intentions within the game. She'll also tell you her impressions of the game itself as she is playing. It's hard to get lost while watching because Ina retains your attention through a mixture of playing the characters and expressing her own thoughts. And of course, like any good streamer, she'll ask for direction and take suggestions from chat. Now, it wouldn't be an Ina analysis if we didn't talk about her drawing streams. It's no secret that Ina is an exceptional artist, but here I'll focus on what she talks about during these streams. Ina discusses a variety of different topics, but there are a few common themes. She has a lot of good advice about content creation and work ethic with art, but most of it can be applied to content creation in general. Ina also talks about learning itself and the best way to approach it. Overall, her topics of choice tend to be serious, insightful, and introspective, and aren't as random as the topic choices of many other streamers. She's someone to listen to if you're trying to understand the best approach to working and learning.
You need to know yourself and how you work in order to, optimize that experience for yourself. These days, you can learn so many skills by just studying with free resources online, like so many YouTube tutorials and like websites that's just built on people trying to learn like yourself. Don't let your own laziness stop you.
Ina's drawing streams tend to be pretty chill. Instead of drawn-out tangents, you'll get nuggets of wisdom followed by periods of silence. If you're looking for a streamer to relax to while receiving some sound philosophy, Ina is a great choice. As some of you know, I tend to gravitate towards high-energy streamers, but I can see the appeal of the other side of the coin. Ina's drawing and just chatting streams are a way to escape the hectic side of life and learn to focus on one's own skills, and I think a lot of people can benefit from that. That being said, when it comes to collabs, Ina tends to take the lead. She's more energetic than on some of her solo streams. Although she is soft-spoken, she is often the one leading the conversation and coming up with new topics to talk about. I was surprised to see that she was keeping up with Kiara in this regard. It didn't seem like either one of them was single-handedly moving the conversation along. So, how does Ina lead the conversation? Does she do a good job keeping things interesting? Yes, she does. Ina uses a lot of different kinds of humor to keep things rolling and stop situations from becoming awkward. She often plays off of themes, whether whether that is those of the VTuber's characters or the topic being discussed. Speaking of characters, Ina will sometimes conjure a scenario with her collab partner where they each play a role. It feels like you're sitting in a theater class. She'll also make meme and pop culture references frequently.
No, Mom!
No, wear a sweater. The sweater I gave you for Christmas. Wear that one. You never wear that one anyway.
I don't like that one.
Don't like that one?
No, it has...
How dare you say that to me? How ungrateful you are.
It doesn't have cookies on the front for that sweater. I don't like it.
When I was gone, you didn't really do much with your power.
Exactly. You know the meme with the Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask? It's like, my job here is done. But you didn't do anything. That's me.
Ina is very relatable when it comes to her mentions of pop culture. She expresses interests that many of us had as kids. My favorite reference that she made was to Pokemon and how it turns out that Pikachu does not have black on the tip of their tail. She reflected the stunned emotion that some of the audience must have been feeling when faced with the revelation of this false memory. That's another thing about Ina. She's highly imaginative and likes to talk about advanced topics in a way that most people can understand. She creates scenarios and stories in reaction to things that are happening. She seems to be a wellspring of interesting ideas. If you're the kind of person who enjoys theorizing about situations or events, you'll enjoy Ina's collab streams.
You know what that effect is called? The Mandela effect?
Mandela effect?
Yeah, where people think that the Pringles man always had like glasses or something, but then he
It was the
doesn't.
Monopoly man, I think.
No, the Pringles man too, actually. I think people say. What if, like, have you ever thought that was just like a parallel world thing, and our minds are kind of shared, but then like we don't realize? Okay, so what if it's like actually is the case, but then like something changed in our something changed in our timeline, like someone's going back and forth, and there's like an after effect.
Something that's not a theory is that Ina has a yabe side to her. She classified herself as quite pure at the outset, but I'm not so sure about that. Ina was more flirtatious than her recent collab partners. She tended to make more allusions and innuendos than they did.
It's not like I wanted you to say my name or anything.
I see. And right below us, we have the hashtag HoloKey.
Underpoop. Look at that tentacle wrapping around my leg. They're all over that already.
Yabe humor may not be everyone's cup of tea, but I like it, and it's a form of humor that generally performs well with the VTuber audience. Ina is great at avoiding awkward moments with her collab partners. When someone is feeling insecure about something, she'll make a joke about something unrelated to distract them. If they're being self-deprecating, she'll try to reassure them while simultaneously moving the conversation in a more positive direction. Ina shows kindness through humor. If you're not sure what I mean by that, the opposite of this is when people try to joke along with self-deprecation or insult their friends. Let's just say I appreciate Ina's approach to humor far more than the opposite. Speaking of Ina's kindness, she tends to be patient with people when she's trying to teach them something. As I just mentioned, she'll make jokes to prevent her student from feeling bad about their skills while learning. She pretends to be strict to take their mind off of any possible embarrassment. This makes the interaction entertaining for the audience while also making her student feel at ease. Did I miss anything you love about Ina? Leave a like and let me know in the comments. Join my Discord for more VTuber content. Thank you for watching.